funny.
So you're 97th percentile. How do you choose your law school? How did you?
Oh man, so this was the fall of my senior year, and I had been basically I'd taken so many credit hours. I graduated with a double major. I had super close to getting a minor in multiple different studies. But just didn't get that last credit hour because I didn't have time, couldn't fit it in. And I was wrapping up my affairs at TCU, and I had applied to a long list of law schools that fit my profile as an applicant. And so I was basically shooting high. I had a 3.9 GPA, 3.98. I made straight A's in college. I made 1B in a creative writing class, which is kind of ironic. And so with that profile,
have you ever thought about being an overachiever though? Have you ever considered being an
I mean, yeah, I was just competitive.
Oh, good.
You know, I was halfway through college when I realized, hey, I still have a 4.0. I should just try and keep this up.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So the school.
So I applied to a bunch of colleges, you know, and I had gotten my results back from most of them by January, and that's when fall semester ended, winter break. And I was going to check my mail one last time before I went home. And I went to my mailbox and I found this big glossy acceptance package from New York University School of Law, which was ranked number 4 in the United States at the time. And so I knew right then and there, I was like, this is where I'm going. I'm moving to the big city. And I'd never left the South before. I'd never been to Manhattan before. I just knew when I opened it that that's where I was going. And I got into UT, I'd gotten into University of Virginia, a bunch of really good programs. But that one was far and away the most elite school. And they're still a top 10 in the world law school. And I certainly paid a lot to go there. But it was the most challenging experience of my life. World-class faculty, all of my colleagues there, all my peers there were just brilliant. And whether they were background in sciences or the humanities like me, just some of the smartest people I'd ever been around. And it was like trying to drink from a fire hydrant for 3 years. It's a very challenging experience. But I became worldly then. You know, that's when I realized, wow, there's a whole bigger world out there. It happens when you move to the crossroads of the world in New York City and you're exposed to all that.
So, all right. So I know once a school becomes elite, of course, the best and the brightest want to go. But what do you think differentiates an elite school from a good school? Because I would assume if you're a law school that you're at least considered a good school.
I think the biggest difference between the upper echelon of law schools is that the authors of the case books that are used at all the law schools in the country, those authors are faculty at the top ranked schools. So I'm a tort lawyer, right? That's what I do now. I sue tortfeasors. Those are my defendants. They committed a tort and they hurt my client. The torts law case book is written by Richard Epstein. Richard Epstein was my torts professor. So I sat in his classroom, the guy that literally wrote the book on this. My civil procedure faculty member was Helen Hirschkopf, and she was one of the authors on our civil procedure book that's used nationwide. So we're getting it from the source. So cutting edge information, cutting edge research, but also when they tell you what the law is, you can take that to the bank. No one in the world knows with more confidence than that professor what the law is or what it should be. So it definitely inspires confidence.